So I keep getting asked, when are you going to do a studio tour? So today's the day that I'm going to show you where we make the donuts, bake the bread, and where the magic happens. So let's go. Now, before we get started, I just want to warn you, my studio is not in the best shape. It's a little bit messy, but I thought it would be helpful for you all to see how I flourish in my space. So let's take a walk through. Let's see. And I hope you all get something good out of this. Now, my studio is in my basement in my home, and I have 3 rooms that I normally work out of. This is the main room where I work out of, and this is my table. I have my brushes, paints, and all kinds of stuff that I keep handy while I work because I work very spontaneously. This is how I do my videos when I do process videos, and I have this stand which holds my phone here, but I didn't like that I had to keep pulling out the trap for the phone to get it on. So I found this, I don't know what this is, but I found it and I thought it would be great to slip my phone in it, and I kind of turn it this way where I can get an overview head of my table, and it works just fine. So this is where I normally record my process videos. I have another stand that I keep on my table where I do the headshots, and yeah, so this is my table, my messy table. Over here I have another table where I normally keep my light box, but it gets piled up with all kinds of stuff from time to time, and you know, I clean it every now and then, but I just can't help myself and I just pile more stuff up on there. But normally I use this table to do any tracings, and I have my light box there, I have an outlet there handy, and anytime that I want to do some drawing and sketching, I'll just clear off this table and I'll work at this table. And it does get a little tight because I have my paints that I store down here. Normally, like after I do a mural or while I'm doing a mural, I store my paints in these little containers that I get from the Chinese food store. They're very easy to transport, and you know, when you don't want to use a lot of paint and when you want to mix colors, they're great to hold the colors. So that's this area over here. Also have a little file cabinet where I normally keep pads in here and index cards, sticky notes, and all that kind of stuff. Over here I have this rolling cart that I love, and I keep little items in these bins that come in and out. So I have all kinds of stuff in here, whether it be markers. This is tape. I have wire and hanger hooks, nails, anything and everything that you can think of that's small, I keep in this roller cart. I keep my prints over here, and there's it sits on a bucket. And I don't know, you know, things are all over the place, but there is a method to my madness. Normally, because I like to keep things in arm's length, I keep my oil pastels on this little area over here. They're not supposed to go there, but I keep it there because I like to keep everything in arm's reach. And over here in this bucket, I keep scrap papers. There's interesting photocopies that I find, colored and textured papers that I use for collage. I keep it all here. And got a bunch of newspapers over there, some paintings in the corner. I have another table over here that I haven't utilized as much, but I always kept like my sketch pads on this table and some other things, but recently I just cleared it off, and I'm going to use this as a mono printing area. This was an easel, like an art easel, and it had a dry erase board and a chalkboard on the other side. And my son had it when he was little, but it's been down in the basement for years, and I've been trying to figure out what I was going to do with it. And I saw this really cool video saying that you can use a hard surface for monoprints, and I thought that this was perfect. I was going to get a jelly plate, but I don't want to spend the money now. But I came across this really cool video saying that you don't need a jelly plate. I actually did a video on it, how you can use different surfaces, hard surfaces for mono printing. But this is the perfect size. It'll fit a 16 by 20 inch page, and that's the size that I want to work with in print. So you're going to be seeing me do more mono prints soon. Right next to my table is where I keep this file drawers. I got my charcoals and pencils in here, lots of color pencils. Basically, I use this for all the art supplies that I say that I'm going to use but never use, you know. So it's just a great place to store my stuff, because as you can see, I have stuff all over the place, and I'm always looking for like a little drawer or bin to put things in, and that's where things end up. Over here, I have piles of paper. I did a video a couple weeks ago about how I would use construction paper to do some abstract pieces, and these papers have been sitting here for years, and I mean for years, and I've been trying to figure out what to do with them, and I just figured it out. So as you can see, I have a lot to go through, and I will be using a lot more of those soon. And I have piles of paintings like everywhere. As you can see, they're over here, over here, over here. There's just like stuff all over the place, but you know, I know where everything is, and it may not look like it, but I do. Right here, I keep all my acrylic paints. I've gotten tons of these because I had a neighbor that used to work for a toy factory, and she would give me paints all the time. So they would end up in these buckets under here, and I use them. I still use them to this day. I try to go through them and keep them moist by adding water, but you know, I get so much paint from the jobs that I do for murals, and you know, people give me free stuff all the time, so I never run out of supplies, and I always find a clever way to use whatever I have. So this is the main room. This is where I come and work. I have my clock, so I know what time it is. Pictures of inspiration. I keep this picture. My son did that picture when he was young. That's from a graffiti book. I was a graffiti artist back in the day. Pictures of my kids, my wife, you know, and I just keep inspiring things around me, you know. And I always, whenever I come here, I remind myself of where I came from and where I've been. This wall, when I first got here, was nice and blank, and over the years, I just graffitied it up. You know, feels like home, right? My little window for ventilation. There's another window back there, but I never open that up. I always keep that closed. Let's take a look in another area of my studio. Here is our laundry room, but I often use this sink to wash my brushes and dump dirty water, and it's very handy and very convenient. You know, if you're an artist, you have to have running water. This table, I love this table. It's nice and sturdy and heavy. As you can see, over the years, lots of paint has been spilled upon it, but I use it as a cutting table, a measuring table. As you can see, I have my T-square. whenever I want to cut a frame or something like that, I always bring it in here. And yeah, there's not good lighting in here, but in the daytime I get great natural light, so it's okay. Now, I use this area as well. So believe it or not, all these paintings that you see on this rack used to be piled up in our dining room, and I just recently moved them down here. And I think it was a great move because my wife was tripping all over them every time she walked through the dining room in the living room area. So I have a vision board over here. All my paintings, not all of them, because I still have some upstairs, but I'm gonna definitely bring more down here. This area over here, it's a prep area. Sometimes I cut with a jigsaw, or if I do some sanding, I will do it over here on this workbench. I have plenty of outlets down here and a freezer. Recently just got this fridge. It's nice and warm in here because our boiler's in here. So I don't often work in here, but I've done like murals and panels for murals on the floor over here because of the space. So this is like also a great prep area as well. And you know, whenever I want to sort out my paints and get my tools together, I come into this room. This ladder is my trusty ladder. I bring it everywhere when I do a mural, and there's just all kinds of goodies and tools in these crates that I use whenever I do a job. So yeah, this is my work area. This is where I flourish, you know. It's not a glamorous studio, but it's my studio. I love it. It is my place of peace. It's where I come to think, where I come to create. And over the years, I have done some great and beautiful work in this space. And this studio has been arranged like quite a few times. I used to have this table over here in that corner. That table was over there in that corner, and you know, things get switched around. And I'm still debating on what I'm going to do with that back wall, because I think I need to hang up some more pieces, and I'll get there. You know, there's a lot of frames back there that I plan on refurbishing. I find frames that people throw out, and I put them to use. I put my own artwork in them. So yeah, so this is my studio. I know it's messy. I know it is crazy looking, but I am sure this is what your studio may look like too. Who knows, you know? So I love just seeing a mess on my table, and I love just sorting through all my materials, and I just have fun coming down here and having a great time. So that's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some form of inspiration of maybe how you can set up your studio. So if you like this video, please like, comment, and share, and don't forget to subscribe. I love you all. Yahweh bless, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Peace out.